24 in a row. That is what the Ravens accomplished with their 20-19 win over the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us here on Ravens Rundown as we look back at the winners and the losers from last night's first preseason game of the year for your Baltimore Ravens. That's right, 24 straight preseason wins for the Baltimore Ravens, dating back all the way to 2015. The Ravens trailed at the halftime break 10-7, but rallied in the second half to get the job done. And let's go ahead and get started, starting with the biggest winner, I think, of the night, Tyler Huntley, who put on the comeback for the Baltimore Ravens to get the job done. Huntley didn't start for Baltimore, as the start went to Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson didn't play that great in his own right, really struggled to get the offense moving. But once Tyler Huntley came in that second half, he provided a spark for this Ravens team, for the Pro Bowl quarterback, Tyler Huntley, that is. And think about this with Tyler Huntley, okay? We have seen over the years in the preseason where he has shined, where the offense has been able to move at a good pace. And one of the big questions about Tyler Huntley entering 2023 when they transitioned this offense to Todd Monken's system was, how well would he pick up this new system, as they were looking at other options potentially, like Josh Johnson, to potentially be that quarterback to compete with Tyler Huntley. But from what we saw, granted it was against second and third teamers in the second half, but from what we saw, Tyler Huntley is picking up this offense very well and is a natural fit. 8 of 11, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. He looked really good, and he looks like, without question, he is the guy to back up Lamar Jackson. If something were to happen to Lamar, Tyler Huntley is the guy they turn to next. Next on the winners list is running back Justice Hill. There was one play in particular. I'll give you a little demonstration here, folks. Justice Hill goes this way, and then pivots this way, and boom, he's off to the races. Justice Hill was moving, and I loved what I saw from Justice Hill. He looked like the Justice Hill the Ravens drafted from Oklahoma State. I was so impressed with the shiftiness, with the moves from one direction to another from Justice Hill. That's what the Ravens have been waiting for. They've been wanting to see that for the last couple of seasons. It finally came alive. It finally showed up. I hope this version of Justice Hill is here to stay. He was really good. 3 carries for 48 yards. A good night for Justice Hill, just looking natural in this offense as far as I'm concerned. Next on the list is wide receiver Sean Rhyan, who led the Ravens in receiving with 4 receptions for 37 yards. And the thing I saw from Sean Rhyan was that he kept finding ways to get open, that he could not be ignored in the passing game. I liked what I saw from Sean Rhyan, the former Rutgers wide receiver. He impressed me. I was very impressed with what he was able to do. And you look at that receiving core for this Ravens team, Sean Rhyan made a decent case of why he should stick around. Maybe he's not going to make the active roster, but at least he made a case of why he should stick around for the practice squad in one way, shape, or another. Sean Rhyan was impressive as far as I'm concerned. Folks, you got to subscribe to the channel. We had a fantastic time on our watch party last night. If you missed it, don't worry. We got more watch parties ahead here on the channel for Ravens Rundowns. We're talking about your Baltimore Ravens each and every day with daily news and rumors. We're also doing live shows, not just the watch parties, but also breaking news on the channel as well. If something happens with the Baltimore Ravens, we're going to be the first to talk about and report it here on the channel. So go ahead and subscribe now. Sub for dubs. If you love your Baltimore Ravens, this is the channel for you. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. YouTube.com/RavensTV. To subscribe for free today. Doesn't cost you a thing. Make sure to join us for our next watch party. You will not want to miss it. Next on our list is linebacker Del'Shawn Phillips. I loved what I saw from Del'Shawn Phillips. He was everywhere defensively. This guy could not be stopped. 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. He made a difference, and he made a statement of why he deserves significant playing time. I was very impressed with what I saw from Del'Shawn Phillips on this defense. He was just everywhere. You couldn't miss him as far as I'm concerned. Daryl Worley had the night of his life, okay? I mean, Daryl Worley was a difference maker this evening. Here's the stats from Daryl Worley. 6 tackles, 2 sacks, okay? 1 tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits. Daryl Worley was incredible. And remember earlier in the week when we talked about the depth chart that the Ravens were looking at Daryl Worley as a backup safety. And traditionally, his position has been corner, right? And so now you have that flexibility with Daryl Worley to move him around, to find playing time for him one way or the other. And Daryl Worley, a guy that's on the edge as far as making that 53-man roster goes, he showed the versatility that he can be used in different ways, whether it's safety or corner, whatever it may be. Daryl Worley showed some strength, showed that athleticism, and might make things easier for the Ravens to find a spot for him. I like what I saw from Daryl Worley. Who was your winner for this game against the Eagles last night? Give me one name that comes to mind. I know we mentioned a few, whether it's somebody we talked about or somebody we didn't talk about. Weigh in the comment section. Give me a winner that comes to mind for your Baltimore Ravens. Let's go to the losers list now. Let's start with Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown just really struggled offensively to get anything going. Threw a very bad interception. He was 3 of 8 through the air, 7 yards. I know we saw Anthony Brown a little bit last year when you had the injuries to Lamar as well as Tyler Huntley. He came in, and the offense just can't move. If we're being real with y'all, and that's what we do here on Ravens Rundown, we are here to bring you the honest, cold, hard truth. Anthony Brown is not a good enough passer in the National Football League. He is a heck of an athlete. He is a great runner. But in order for Anthony Brown to make it in this league, he's got to develop more as a passer. He's just not there yet. Anthony Brown, he ain't there. Tonight was not a good example of what he brings to the table. A rough outing for Anthony Brown. Still got the job done. The win still happened, but nonetheless, Anthony Brown struggled. Melvin Gordon. Now, with Melvin Gordon, if you recall, the Ravens ended up spending $3+ million to bring in Melvin Gordon. He did not, I'm happy to report this part, though. He didn't fumble tonight, which was the big issue that cost him a job in Denver. But he didn't necessarily get going in a rhythm. 6 carries, 16 yards, 2.7 yards per carry. It looks like that he has lost his step. He's not the same running back he once was. Justice Hill was better. Gus Edwards was better. Melvin Gordon. Keaton Mitchell was better than he was, too. We saw some flashes from Keaton Mitchell that looked pretty decent, too. Melvin Gordon, I am not so sold that he's going to make this 53-man roster. I would be more pressed to go ahead and just give the spot to Keaton Mitchell as far as I'm concerned. Melvin Gordon, not a great night from him. He makes the losers list. Who was your biggest loser? Weigh in the comment section. Tell me who you think it was against the Eagles. Whether it was somebody we talked about, somebody we didn't talk about. Weigh in. Give us a name. Who was a loser for the Ravens against the Eagles? Let us know in the comment section below. Last on the list, James Proche at the wide receiver position. James Proche, this is a guy that's trying to play for his football life, right? He wants to make this 53-man roster for Baltimore, and this guy really struggled. 1 catch for -1 yards. He had an awful fumble in this game on a punt return that was just ridiculous. I was not impressed with James Proche. This is a guy that is on the verge of making the roster or not. It is borderline. It is close, and he didn't look good. Nothing he did tonight looked good. I was very concerned about James Proche. He's got to step up in this next preseason game because what we saw last night was a red flag. Red flag. James Proche did not do what he needed to do at all. Didn't get active enough offensively. Made a huge mistake with that fumble there. Big concerns with James Proche as far as I look at it. Grade the Ravens' performance against the Eagles. Wasn't a great start, but I like the finish. I'd give this game about a B+. I think that's a fair grade. Grade it for me in the comments section. What would your grade be for the Ravens tonight? A, B, C, D, or F? Let us know what you think in the comments section. Let me know. We'll see you next time here on Ravens Rundown.